All right, guys. We gonna settle this debate for once and for all, okay? Because, we as Bitcoiners like to, you know, disregard a lot of things because obviously we understand what Bitcoin is, but we still need to sum it down now. And I'm gonna break down why, in my opinion, you should first get a cash flowing asset, whether that be business, right? A business, which I've been telling you guys, start a business. Nobody wants to listen to me though. Just a random guy on the internet, whatever. Or real estate, right? And again, I'm going to go over why I think, in my opinion, it's better to own real estate. Use money to buy an asset that's going to pay you cash flow. Use the cash flow to then buy Bitcoin because, one, we're going to jump into it. I'm not going to go into that right now. I got my notes here. I got my business credit card because we're going to use that as an example. And I've been evaluating deals, right? Because I've been looking at cash flowing opportunities. So I'm not going to delete this stuff. I was going to erase it, but I'll just use this area here to, use this area over here to just go over this example. But, maybe I'll use this property as an example as well. And then I got some responses. I got some replies on Twitter, so I'll answer this question as well. And I'll go over my responses in my tweets, and I'll explain my tweets as well. So we'll jump into all that. So Bitcoin maxis, I am a Bitcoin maxi, okay? Bitcoin Chris. Don't get it confused. See, that's the thing, right? I already have, never mind. I already have enough Bitcoin. I don't have enough Bitcoin, but I have enough Bitcoin, right? You can never have enough Bitcoin, but I already have enough Bitcoin. So now I can, diversify, right? Because in the Bible, it says to diversify your assets, right? And again, we're going to jump right into it. So let's jump right into it. Got my notes here. We're going to jump into it. All right, cool. So, all right, let's jump right into, first of all, the reason why I'm saying all this is because of taxes. So that's the main reason why, right? The main reason, or the two main reasons, right, is taxes and cash flow. Let's see if I can move this up a little bit. There it is. Cool. All right, taxes and cash flow. That's crazy. Don't come at me, Bitcoiners. All right? Matter of fact, come at me, bro. Come at me. Because I'm about to break it down for you guys right now. And then we'll do real estate over here. We'll do a business over here. And then we're going to do the let's see. I don't know if I'm going to have enough space for that. Let me delete this. Come over here in this corner and do a you guys can't see that, can you? I'll move the camera down when it's time to go over that, but for now, let me just draw that. That's going to be business. It's going to be investor. This is going to be self-employed. This is employed. All right, cool. Now, let's jump right into it, guys. Let's get into the juicy stuff. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on Twitter, hit that like and retweet button. And let's jump right into it. So, first of all, it's about your taxes and your cash flow, which jumps into this down here, right? But we're gonna do this first, right? We're gonna talk about the taxes and cash flow for this instead, and then we'll jump into self-employed and employment tax. So, as I mentioned, is that what you can do is you can actually do creative financing and purchase a real estate property or start a business. The reason is because of cash flow. And the reason you want to get more cash flow, especially through these vehicles, is because you pay less in taxes. When you are self-employed or employed, you pay the most taxes. So instead of you paying money in taxes, you could save money and buy the asset. What's the asset we're talking about here? It's Bitcoin. Okay? Obviously, Bitcoin Chris has Bitcoin tatted. I have no fear. Obviously, it's the more superior asset. It's the best performing digital asset on planet Earth. If you didn't get in 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, then I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. You're not getting, you're going to get those returns, but it's still going to take time. And I'm going to go over, a strategy that you can do as well. So let's jump right into it, right? So creative financing, you can get business credit, which I keep telling you guys about. Nobody wants to listen, though. You can get business credit. This is a business credit card, one of several. I'll put another one down there for you. Boom. One of several, two of several, right? Yeah, free game. You're welcome. Free game. You're welcome. You can use business credit cards to do what, right? This has $15,000 on it. This has $10,000. That's $25,000 right there, right? All right, cool. So now that I have $25,000 at 0% interest for a year, guess what I can do? I could buy some Bitcoin. I could start a business. I could invest in real estate. But what is going to be the best and most advantageous and the best, the best way to, maneuver this thing, right? Because for me, there's nothing wrong with having a job. If you have a job, cool. But for me personally, I don't want to have a job. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I don't want nobody telling me when I can go to lunch and when I can take breaks and whatnot. If that's something that's in your boat or you have to because you have to, then that's good for you. But for me, that's a no-go. Obviously, I will if I have to, but I'm blessed enough to not to be able to. Thank God for that. Right? So here we go. And you pay the most taxes. Like, come on now. I just talked about that. You pay the most taxes. You pay taxes before you even see your money. I digress. Let's jump back into it. So what you can do is, man. All right. So we'll do business first because real estate, you're going to need more capital. So my business is teaching financial literacy. I'm a coach, right? I do consultations. I do, I help other people get business credit and I fix their personal credit so they can, get business credit so they can start a business and then cash flow, right? So if you start a business, right, and you need money to do so, so use the credit cards to start a business. Your business then cash flows. Your cash flow can then buy you Bitcoin. And now you have freedom and you pay less in taxes. Why? Because business owners pay taxes last and employees pay taxes first. Okay? Bitcoin has outperformed real estate. Duh. That's what I have written down here. Duh. I've said that. Go check the tweets. I've said that many times. I obviously know this. However, you want to be smart, right? Because, again, the money that you're spending in taxes that come out of your check automatically from Uncle Sam, you could be using that money to buy more Bitcoin, right? Then you're cash flowing from your business to buy more Bitcoin and continue to run your business. On top of that, you're paying little to no taxes with your business. If you know how to do it correctly, you can take that money and purchase the asset again or the asset and pay no taxes. Example 1, use business credit, start a business, pay for marketing, pay for everything that you need, and then you cash flow. Once you cash flow, you take the money from your business to invest into your business to grow more, and you pay less in taxes, and you use that cash flow again to buy other assets for your business, whether it be real estate or Bitcoin. Either one of these, I'm A-OK. Obviously, I'm Bitcoin Chris, so I'm going to say Bitcoin all day. However, let's jump into why real estate is a great option as well. And what I'll do is I will use this example here, right? So I'm looking at this property. It's $899,000. You would need 20%, so a little bit less than 200,000, right? We'll take out the calculator here. $899. Maybe we can negotiate the price to get it cheaper, whatever. Well, under 200,000. So $179,000. And you're probably thinking, oh my God, how do I get $179,000? What did I just say? Business credit. Okay, you don't have enough in business credit. There's something called a hard money lender. You only have to put down 20% of the property. You only have to put down 20% of this, but you can use business credit as a financing tool, as a creative financing tool. Or you can talk to a private lender, hard money lender, as long as it's cash flowing and you can pay the debt. Partner with somebody. Stop making excuses. $179,000 is not a lot of money. So if you think that's a lot of money, change your mindset. It's not a lot of money. It's only a lot of money because you say it's a lot of money. So change your mindset and say it's not a lot of money, and then therefore it won't be a lot of money. And then now what you think becomes reality. Fix your mindset. This is actually an Airbnb unit, or it's I have to pull up the unit. It's a 5 unit. It's a 5 unit, right? And it's 5 1-1s, right? And it's in Orlando, and it can be on Airbnb. And again, you would need some money down, right? So you would need $179,000 down. Again, you can talk to a hard money lender, private lender, business credit, combination of both. Partners, get partners, use business credit, use hard money lender. Figure it out. Everything's figure outable, right? So figure it out. Or you can do a cheaper deal, right? You don't got to do a crazy deal like that, right? But I have these deals because, this is what I'm looking at, and this is on my whiteboard. My whiteboard is where I do my math and where I do my evaluations of deals. So I didn't want to erase it because I'm looking at deals. I'm trying to evaluate deals, trying to find the best deal, right? That's going to cash flow and, bring in the most money. Guys, come on now. Take notes. All right, cool. So let's just say we do get, okay, so let's just say we do get, let's just say we do get this money, right? Let's say you have 180,000 to get this property. Now you have 5 units. 5 times 1,000 is 5,000. 5,000 times 12, 60,000. That's how I got this number here, guys. If I raise the rents to 1,500, or if I can get 1,500 for the 1 bedrooms, it goes up to 90,000. That's per year. And instead of doing that, I can do Airbnb, right? And we're in Orlando, so everybody comes to Orlando, right? So I don't think it would be difficult to rent these rooms out if I did Airbnb, if that's something I was going to do. So I did 200 a night times 21 nights average, because it's not going to be filled up the entire 30 days. And then you can charge more for peak season. And we have, summertime, everybody's here. Spring break, everybody's here. Thanksgiving, everybody's here. Holidays, everybody's here. And Christmas, everybody's here. So this is a low-end price, average rate. 200 times 21 days out of the month times 5 units. And then do that times 12, right? Because it's 12 months in a year. Now that's 252,000. Obviously, we got to pay for taxes, insurance, and the mortgage, right? Whatever your mortgage payments are. But you're still getting 252,000. So let's just say we're paying, the mortgage ain't gonna be that much, guys. I mean, the mortgage is not gonna be that much, guys. So, I mean, I could look it up in the mortgage calculator, but, you know, I did a $200,000 loan earlier on another deal, and it was like $1,400 plus, you know, maybe $500 for the, it was probably 14 to 15,000, just 1,400 to 1,500 a month to pay on that mortgage. Let's just do 1,500 times 12, 18,000. 18,000 minus 60,000. That's 42,000 after you pay for everything. That's NOI. And if you guys watched my other video, I talked about NOI, but I'll tell you what NOI is. Net operating income. That's your income after you pay everything that you need to, all the expenses for the property, okay? So that's 42,000. Next is 90,000. So that was what, 18,000 that we paid in taxes, fees, and mortgage, right? So let's do 18,000 minus 90,000. 72,000. NOI 72,000, and then 252 minus 18,000. If you guys watched my video yesterday, if you didn't do it, go do it. I did forget to include, you know, the mortgage payment in the example, but it was just an example, and the mortgage payment is not going to be anything crazy because, I mean, it'll take away maybe 1,500 from what I was talking about in total each month. Maybe around the same price, maybe around 18 grand from the overall totals that I was telling you guys, but still, no brainer. Go watch that video. 234,000 divided by 12. Average of $20,000 a month. If I Airbnb'd, 72,000. That's after everything's paid for. And matter of fact, you have more expenses because you got to pay for with Airbnb, you got a little bit more expenses because you have to pay for cleaning, right? And you have to pay for, for my Airbnb, I like to have like champagne and nice stuff. So you'll pay a little bit. You'll have less than that, but for the most part, 200. Let's just say 225,000. But 200, you can't complain. 225,000. Come on, guys. 72,000 times divided by 12. That's 6,000 a month. If you did $1,500 in rent, and then it would be 42,000 if you did $1,000 a month in rent, right? So now this is cash flow, right? And then again, I'm gonna go over depreciation, right? You can actually depreciate and pay less time. Oh my God, guys. So I keep trying to tell you guys, there's a reason why I keep saying this. The taxes on a property is 0. The reasons why it's 0 is because that's the law. The law says you can divide your amount that you paid for the property divided by $8.99 divided by 27.5%. 899 27.5%. Why am I doing this wrong? There it is. No, that's way too high. I don't know what I'm doing incorrectly, but you're supposed to divide 27%, 27.5 depreciation into the property. We're going to use these accelerated cost segregation, cost study segregation. So we're actually just going to do 30% of. It's just going to say 900,000 times 30%. So we can actually deduct 270,000 from our income, right, for the year, which would save us taxes, right? So we wouldn't pay any taxes on this, which is why it's so important. So with the cash flow, right? So if you don't, you would report to the IRS that you are at a loss, but you're still cash flowing 4272 or 225,000 for an example for this. And then what you can do with the capital, right, is then use that money to buy Bitcoin. DCA. So at the time of this recording, Bitcoin's 30,000, but this would be a great opportunity when Bitcoin goes down, right? Or after a major bull cycle and we have a blow off top and Bitcoin corrects 80, 70 to 80%. Then that would be the perfect time for you to DCA or cash out refinance, which you can take up to 75 to 80% of the value of the home. Let's do 75%. You can take out $675,000 tax-free and then buy a chunk of Bitcoin or DCA in, and you still have cash flow coming in. You got a new loan, obviously. So the loan is probably going to be a little bit more, but you're not paying it anyway. The tenants are. Now you have cash flow. You got $675,000 in liquid cash, tax-free, because you got to pay it back, but the tenants are paying it back. Now you can buy another real estate property to cash flow more, which would go into Bitcoin, and now you got more Bitcoin, and you can DCA and buy more Bitcoin. Why? Because you have more cash flow. You have more disposable income. Okay? All right, so let's jump into the tax brackets over here, right? Okay, let's jump to tax brackets. If you are self-employed, you're paying 30, depends on where you live, 30, 40%, maybe 20. I'm in Florida, so it's 20, maybe 20 to 30% in taxes, right? And then if you live in California, more taxes. New York, more taxes. Then you got your state, then you got your federal, then you got your, Social Security, then you got everything else, right, that you pay for out of your self-employed, out of your employment, W-2, 9-to-5 job. Self-employed, you're going to pay even more taxes, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You're probably going to pay about 40% tax. If you're trying to be a sole prop and you're not setting yourself up as a LLC or S Corp, right? And then, so these two, if you're on this side of the spectrum, you're paying the most taxes. But if you own a business and you listen to what I said earlier, then you can pay. So S Corp, you have to pay, and this depends on how many employees you have too, right? 500 or more employees, then you don't got to pay no taxes because you're helping out with the economy and jobs and whatnot. But LLC, and depends on, a few factors. But if you have an LLC, and let's just say you don't have 500 employees, because, most people are not going to do that. Or not going to have that type of success. But let's say you have a decent business, right? You have an LLC, you still have to pay 15% self-employment tax. But if you do an S Corp, you only pay taxes on what you pay yourself. So you can pay yourself the minimum, right? You should be operating in corporate structure anyway, where you're not paying for things out of pocket anyway. Your business pays for everything, which is what I was saying. Your business should be paying for. You should be living corporate life. Your business should be paying for everything, right? But you can eliminate your taxes by becoming an S corp and avoiding the self-employment tax. Sole prop. This would be sole prop. Which means sole proprietor. And then if you have an accountant and you know what you're doing, then you could do 1099, right? But, you know, that's here nor there. But even with whatever's left over, you pay taxes on what's left over. You can still, again, take this cash flow, the money that you're making from your business, cash flow, and buy Bitcoin or real estate. Why? Because, and then why would you not pay taxes? Because you're buying assets and you're buying things that your business can own, and you're just reinvesting into your business. That way you don't have any income left over. That way you can't be taxed if you have nothing left over. All right, guys, cool. And then last but not least is the investor. 0% tax. Investors pay 0% in taxes. Why? Because they are investing, especially if you're buying real estate. They are incentivized to invest and create real estate because the government sucks at housing and they want us to do it, investors to do it. And then you can do cost segregation study, write off 30% in the first year, avoid all the taxes for your cash flow. Okay? Use the cash flow to buy Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin, you have an emergency, guess what? You're probably going to have to sell your Bitcoin. Guess what you're going to get hit with? Capital gains tax. You know that, right? There's short-term capital gains, long-term capital gains. Hey Siri, what's the short-term capital gains tax rate in the United States?
Here is what I found.
Now, you're supposed to know this. You're going to bring me up an article. All right, so short-term capital gains tax, depending on how much you're making, and if you're married or separated, then guess what, guys? You paying 22, 30,000, 22, 30,000, 22%, 24%, 32%, 35, 37%. Depends on how much you're making. That's short term. Look at this long term. Single up to 41,000. Okay, look at that. 15% if you made 40 to 5. 15% if you made 41,000 and over. 41,676 and over to 459,000. If you made over 459,000, then you gotta pay 20%. So you can file as head of household. That'd be wise. If you're married, that'd be wise. All right, cool. So now we learned about that, right? So cool. Now you know what short-term capital gains are. Look it up, Google it yourself. But guess what? If you just bought real estate and you had an emergency, you could have cashed out, refinanced, had a big chunk of change, bought some more real estate, bought some more Bitcoin, and then you wouldn't have to sell Bitcoin at all and not have to pay any taxes. And now you got cash flow, and then again, you use that cash out refinance, which I said you can do 75% of the 800 and 900,000, that's 675,000. You go buy another property, and then now you got more cash flow, and then you have another asset, and then you just repeat the cycle. Okay. So let's jump into the tweets. I got a lot more tweets. Okay, we got somebody that agrees. Okay, at these prices, everybody's. So this is my thing with this, right? So a lot of people were saying that Bitcoin is going to, or not Bitcoin, real estate is going to crash, right? I think we're going to have a correction, but based on the money printing and the economy, they might not even let it crash. I don't know what's going to happen, but guess what? People still got to find somewhere to live, guys. People still got to live. Somebody said I like this, but don't trust property rights in blue states, especially if things get bad. Uh, stop being pessimistic, bro. Okay, we got some people that agree. Okay, answer this question. Bitcoin is digital real estate, classified as property by the IRS, except with no tax deductions available in the U.S. You can't rent out your Bitcoin. That's right. To produce passive income. What are you getting at? What do you mean? What am I getting at, bro? Lending out Bitcoin degen style to produce cash flow. That's not bro. What are you talking about, bro? Exactly why I made this video, bro. What are you talking about? And getting taxed on ordinary income, bro. Let's read this, bro, because maybe I may have said something wrong, or I may not have explained this correctly. Duh, Bitcoin is better than real estate. I've said this many times, except you need cash flow, in my opinion, and especially in today's economic downturn. How? I forgot the R. How are you going to buy more Bitcoin? Question mark. Working a job, pay the highest tax. Why? When you can work smarter, not harder. Okay, so I don't know where he's getting lending out Bitcoin, because I never said that. What's wrong with y'all, bro? Social media be crazy, bro. It's not what I said at all, bro. I don't know, man. These multiple remote tech jobs are doing numbers. We agree on putting it in Bitcoin. And that's fine. Like I said, you can have your job, guys, but you're paying the most taxes, man. I don't get y'all. And I know I explained that. He's replying to something. What is he replying to? No, where's he at? No, bro. I know that Bitcoin is outperformed, obviously. No, this was for this. He's not saying that to. He's saying that to this. Okay, cool. I think that's it. So yeah, let me address this. Who is this guy? Yo, stop listening to people on Twitter, bro. Stop listening to people on Twitter, man. You're taking this baby example. You don't know what kind of properties he have. You don't know how much he started with. You don't know any of that. But y'all want to take one example and blanket that over all real estate transactions. No, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. Yeah, he's netting. What are we in 2023? He's $11,000 a month. What are you guys talking about? Why are these guys hating, bro? Okay, what this is. So I'm gonna say one thing, and then that's gonna be it for this video. There's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. If you're doing what I'm telling you to do, or explaining how you should do it, then you should be good, because you're going to be cash flowing. You can cash out refinance. They didn't say anything about cashing out refinance. I don't know how much the properties that he paid for. You don't know anything about his financial situation, and that's a small scale. You can do it on a big scale. You don't have to be a You don't have to do what he's doing. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm just giving an example of what is possible and why I think, in my opinion, buying a real estate property that produces cash flow that you can cash out, refinance, and receive cash flow from to buy Bitcoin is the best way, because that's just what smart people do. You're not going to pay taxes for 27.5 years. It's a no-brainer. Or start a business. Use the cash flow to buy more Bitcoin. Pay no taxes. Buy a trust. Have your trust on your real estate. Have a trust on your Bitcoin. Get business credit. Bitcoin Chris checking out. Hope this makes sense. Peace.